My room is a mess. It's December. These are all of my PR kits, and also I am packing to go to Cebu. I will be in Cebu once this episode airs because we are shooting another episode for a documentary about the PVL. More about that later on in the future, but I hope you guys are as excited as I am to release that and to see that. Huge learning curve for me though because I'm doing more than I think I'm doing like three roles in the production. I haven't been a writer in a long time. So, learning curve. Also, it doesn't come naturally to me. Production manager, I didn't do it in this scale, meaning like going out of town. So, when you're a production manager, you have to organize the shoot, you're with the schedule, logistics, and other stuff like that. I'm also a researcher, so I have to get all the sources of information, the pictures and videos that we'll use for the episode. We already shot one in Candon 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. And yeah, it's been such a crazy ride. After Candon, I got here, did a couple of gigs. Um, Hosting a show also is Sports Time. I already did the first season. We're already shooting the second season, and that will come out early next year. So it's that obstacle course show. Then did some brand attendance, brand events. A lot of brand events are actually not paid. So I just go there for networking, go there for the fun, go there to dress up. After that, a UAAP game, I think. Then the next week, brand events once again, hosting, a shoot with VMG, and now we're back to another out of town trip for PVL. Alright, that was just a quick update on what I've been doing, but deep breath. May sipon ako, di ko alam kung bakit. I think it's the weather, to be honest. And I think it's the dust accumulation because of all of the things I have to get out because it's the Burr months, it's December. Naghahalungkot ako ng mga gifts and stuff like that. I have to be a better gift giver, basically. But today, I started it off talking about the things that I've done. We are gonna delve into career truths, and a lot of people actually have been asking me about my career and how I got here and what I did to get here. I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I'm still figuring it out, and a lot of this is just winging it. I swear, a lot of this is trial and error, just going to auditions, seeing X marks the spot, which audition fits and which I get into, and then kind of betting on myself along the way. So, I'm dealing with a lot of imposter syndrome actually. Itong month na to, itong December, because of all of the pileup of different projects and rackets that I have, I feel like I took a little bit too much, but it's always like this during December. I've anticipated this kind of grind. So, I'm the problem. Basically. Pero pumapasok yung imposter syndrome whenever I feel like I'm not doing well. Which is understandable because when I feel like I'm not doing well, then it means in my head that I'm not worthy of this opportunity or they could have gotten someone better. I've started observing a pattern when I get imposter syndrome, when I'm tired, when I'm not taking care of myself, and yeah, when I have a pile up of projects. So the self-talk that I've been doing is they didn't get you because you suck, or they didn't get me because of a meme reason. These people know my capabilities, and I have given myself a really good foundation to trust myself to do well. So I just have to trust the process of what I'm going through and not worry about the result because I know within myself na hindi naman ako nag-release ng mema na output. Okay, I just needed to get that one out there. I don't know how many people are experiencing imposter syndrome, especially now. But I feel you. We will get through this together. I swear. A question that I get a lot in terms of career is, how would you know that that career is for you or that path is for you? I've been reflecting on that question for a couple of months now because that was a question that two people asked me. Parang ang dami, no? Pero two people asked me that similar question over on my broadcast channel on Instagram. And I really didn't have an answer at the time. But I do realize that the more that I know myself, the more that I align with the lifestyle, the career that I want, the person that I want to be. So having life coaching has actually helped me a lot with understanding myself. And this Burr months 2024 has just been such a reflective era for me. I'm more observant of who I am and the patterns that I have. And I realize that I love to yap. I love being a professional yapper. So hosting making this podcast, I feel very aligned with that. Yapping has taken so many forms for me. Or talking, to be more professional, talking as a host, talking as a speaker, talking in my professional life has taken so many forms. And I feel like hosting within myself, within my core, is one that aligns with my values and what I want to do. I'm still getting the grasp on anchoring, but I have a gut feeling that I can get better at it. And meron akong feeling of hope. Do you get me? Like, meron akong excited feeling to get better at it and to find opportunities to do so. So, that's a good feeling. And whenever I have a good gut feeling or a good instinct feeling, I try to align myself with that and bet on myself with that. So, a lot of this being aligned with my career path has got to do with knowing who I am and what I enjoy doing. Yung producing naman, why do I keep on producing is because I love the feeling of using my brain in that way, and I feel very alive when I solve problems. So that manifests in my producing, and that is a core trait that I have. I love overthinking, I love solving problems, I love coordinating with people, and eventually I actually grown to love sports. So for the people who didn't know, sports wasn't my track or wasn't something that I knew was a career path when I was in college. I thought I was gonna get into entertainment. I was scared to get into news, but I felt like I had to try it out. But hard news, I give props to the anchors who do that and the correspondents and the reporters kasi grabe, hard news is crazy difficult. For me, I love doing the news thing on digital media. So that's where I feel like I align myself in that way. So back in college, I thought I would get into entertainment news. Entertainment, I worked hard in becoming a junior jock for Magic 89.9. I would go to training. I would enter organizations that aligned with that. So I was in two radio organizations for AM and FM. I was in advertising core, which I wanted to join because I wanted to learn more about advertising and brands. And I also joined Broadcasters Guild. It's a socio-civic org, meaning we learn how to use media to help other people and to help promote advocacies. So those are the four orgs that really aligned with who I was and who I wanted to be after college. And it helped me really educate myself about the professional world, things that have nothing to do with academics. I learned so much about life with my organizations and my extracurricular activities. That's why I encourage people to take up extracurriculars, whether that's sports, organizations, because we learn more about our EQ and our personalities and who we want to be with those activities. I only realized that I like sports. It was after I became a courtside reporter. Actually, growing up, my dad would put me in a lot of sports, would put me in a lot of extracurricular activities. I did ballet, I did piano, guitar, um, did a bit of basketball, a bit of volleyball, but the amateur one lang. I also did badminton, almost got into varsity. I won a medal for speed stacking or sports stacking. I don't know if you guys know that. The cups, yung chika chik, chika chik, chika chika chik. I did that as a group in my grade school. But the sport that I really pursued was badminton. I also did a bit of swimming and I was already at the level that I was learning to dive. So those were the sports that I mainly did growing up, and then I was very into fitness as well. when I got into courtside reporting, that was such a YOLO moment. That was just because of the validation of all the people that believed in me. And because I had that mindset na I'm fourth year in college, it's gonna be my last year, point blank period. I was not gonna extend. So might as well go for all the opportunities that I feel like would be so fun and would be a great opportunity to learn in. So I auditioned before um, as a mixed VJ, also auditioned in Cosmopolitan as one of their influencers, got rejected in both, auditioned in Play FM, got rejected as well, cried in Jollibee Katipunan, had my friend Sam and Arlan with me to witness that as they gave me ice cream. I was rejected more times than I got accepted, to be honest. And I still cry, and I feel like I will still cry if that happens to me right now. So, when I auditioned for courtside reporting, the only mindset that I had was to learn and have fun in every step of the way. I didn't actually think that I was gonna get in at all. Like, I just really wanted to get connections and I really wanted to gain friends because every room that you open is already an opportunity for people to get to know you, whether or not they open the door and let you go in or they slam the door in your face, right? So, what matters to me is getting my name out there. I enjoyed a lot in the courtside process. We also had a level where we had to vlog, quote unquote, and that was the level where I met Sir Miko Halili, and I remember him giving me a thumbs up after my audition for that one. We also had an on-cam audition, and we had like a regular interview. We had two video auditions that I found recently. I'll show you guys in the future, and that photo audition as well or whatever, that profile shots. So afterwards in that courtside auditions, I got in eventually. And the messaging for us was we always had to earn our place in courtside. So as an overthinking achiever, I always thought that I had to come out and do my best, which is a good trait, I believe. There only I only realized recently at to one what point I want to do my best at, but at the time I was really like go 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 110%. So that was when I started to fall in love with sports because sports is such a good marry or a good collab of entertainment and news. It had the seriousness of news. Sports is such a numbers game. It's what we cover on broadcast and we cover the events that happened. And it also has entertainment because sports has culture, it has people. We cover the players, we cover their interests, we cover their hobbies. So I feel really, really fulfilled when I'm covering sports and I just found my place in it. And I really hope that I keep doing sports for a long run. I pray that I get to do international sports as well. But that's how I realized by chance that maybe entertainment and news is something that I can put aside at the moment and I'm gonna concentrate on sports. And from there, courtside, I did sports writing, sports producing, digital media content for sports, and then now a producer on broadcast and doing documentaries and original shows for sports. So this is some things that I just learned along the way. And once I feel that I am enjoying, that's when I know that, oh, this path can be something that I can explore and can be something that I can do in the long run. But I do have three tips that help me not just in my producing, but also in my hosting and my content creation journey. The first one, I felt like the reason why I was so comfortable with courtside reporting was because of the things that I did prior to prepare myself for it, not knowing that I was gonna be a courtside reporter. So I attribute a lot of my skills to becoming a junior jock in Magic 89.9. Really helped me with ad libbing, helped me with on the spot speaking and storytelling within a time frame, and helped me go off of experience and memory in terms of telling a story because we weren't allowed to have a script. Radio is very impromptu as well. I love the skill that I gained in terms of segueing things and connecting things to one another. So the first tip that I have is you never know who is watching. Which project you're doing now will open doors for you. So keep creating. Every project that I have has always added to the skill and talents that have helped me in another project. And every project that I have has introduced me to people that would create a racket for me or would get me for another racket. So when I host or when I do gigs or when I produce, I feel like that's an opportunity to get another job or to let myself be known. When I was in college and starting out with hosting, like not professional hosting yet, I would tell all of my friends that I would love to host. And I didn't know that it was a career at the time. I would just tell them that I want to host. I didn't think that it could be a full time job or something that I could pursue. So they would get me for different hosting gigs. Eventually, orgs would get me for different hosting gigs in their events as well. Those events helped me with my portfolio and eventually helped me produce a professional career out of it. So, sobrang grateful for every opportunity, whether that's big or small, that's subjective. I think that every opportunity is meaningful. Those chances have led me to other bigger chances. And I feel like it's just a ladder or it's just stairs. One opportunity will lead to the next. If you're rejected in another, at least you got your name out there. It will help you become stronger for the next one. I know it's cliche, but it's something that I learned throughout my entire career. Next is I always invest in my skills and talents, and I tell people when I do workshops or speaking engagements to do that as well because investing in ourselves helps us create the better. So I always try to enroll in free because kuripot ako, charot. I love to save free workshops, free networking opportunities. I'm always updated on if there's a TED Talk or if there's a speaking engagement that I really love the speaker or if I want to learn with this influencer or this person. So always look for opportunities to get better and to hone your skills aside from those paid projects that we have. And lastly, you're the only person who will ultimately know if you're meant to do something or not. But I also want you to know that you don't have to have it all figured out right now. And it's really a process as we get to know ourselves. Getting to know myself has helped me say yes and no to things that I think would align with my life. And I feel like when I turned 25, I've been learning who I want to be more. Because when we were younger, it's very exploratory phase. It's very, I want to do a lot of things. But now that I've gotten older, I want to concentrate on the things that bring me joy, certainly. Like for sure, for sure. So that's how I try to align myself, even with the events and the brands that I accept. So I know my values, and in terms of brands, I really filter the brands that I work with, and I do my research prior to accepting a brand. So my friends know that once I endorse a brand, it's something that I use or that I've liked. And there are certain brands that I really don't want to endorse at all because they don't align with my values. So those are the three things that have helped me in my career and in my life. Sa totoo lang, I don't know why people ask me about career stuff. It looks like, I guess, I have it figured out, but that's social media for you. And basically, palagi ko lang iniisip and my golden rule is always have fun in what you're doing. If you're not having fun, get out of there. It's not servicing you anymore and it's not servicing my soul anymore. I'm someone who always wants to be happy. And I put myself in situations where even when there are challenges, masaya ako. So, dun lang tayo sa masaya tayo. Yun yung basically lagi kong iniisip. And if sa tingin mo hindi ka masaya at the moment, I always try to think of ways on how to make something more enjoyable for me in a given situation. Kaya, it looks like I'm doing well or it looks like I have things figured out, but it's because I'm enjoying what I'm doing at the moment. Now, I cannot speak for myself in like 10 or 20 years. Maybe I am a gardener. I don't know, wherever I want to be in the moment or as the person that I am in that moment. Yun, I don't know if that makes sense. But I really hope that we all find the career paths or the lifestyle that make us happy and make us feel fulfilled. I hope that for you so much. I feel like good people in the world deserve a lot of good things as well. So it takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of getting to know ourselves and really placing ourselves and placing our friends in opportunities that will allow everybody to shine. So this are tips for you, but I hope you pass that on and pay it forward to your friends as well. Kasi meron din silang mga dreams that they want to achieve. And I hope that we all support each other in doing so. Let's go to the segment wins, wishes, and won'ts. Basically, wins are things that I've done that I'm proud of myself for doing. Please also comment down below if you have any of these. Wants are, or wishes pala, daming W. Wishes are things that I want or I'm manifesting. And won'ts are stuff that I don't want to continue anymore. So wins, I'm alive even though it's the busiest month for me. This November and December has been a roller coaster. No rest for the wicked type of thing. Speaking of wicked, I just watched it. I'm in love. I am in love, people of the universe. And I appreciate the play so much more because of it. Nakikita ko talaga yung emotions ng characters. Kasi pag play, very extravagant siya, very OA, so that people in the back can see, diba, what's happening is seeing the action. But because this is a movie, it captures the nuances of emotion and facial expression na hindi ko nakikita sa play. So, mas naintindihan ko what they're going through and how they're feeling in the moment. And ang daming emotions and layers na Cynthia and Ariana are able to portray in their characters. Even si Fierro. So, I appreciate that. Bones are I have to limit the choices or the projects that I get when I know that I'm gonna be super busy. I want to sleep and I want to prioritize my health. Yon. If you guys have any more career tips and tricks and hacks, please do comment it down below. I would love to create this conversation with you because always learning from one another naman tayo dito in Harder Truths. So see you guys in the next episode on Friday on Spotify and on Saturday on YouTube. Thank you!